You are listening to chartingwealth.com for Friday the 31st of August 2018, the last day of the month. Now, we will be putting out for you over the holiday, we're going to republish our training on short charts, and that's going to go to everyone who has purchased our book, Charting Your Way to Wealth. We've already sent it out once to the people that had pre-purchased the book. And of course, we've gotten lots of great feedback on it. If you're interested in short charts, that is the 2-hour chart and how to read it and how to use it for short chart trades, such as, I hesitate to use the word day trading, but things like that. If you want to practice that and learn how to do it, this is what you need. Well, you got to purchase our book, Charting Your Way to Wealth. Tells you everything about what we teach here at the channel, and we'll throw in that special short chart trading for you. We'll be republishing that. So buy the book. There are links everywhere. If you're getting the daily email, which you should, it's for free. We send it out. Just sign up at chartingwealth.com. You'll see it, and also the daily show notes for what we post at the website. You'll also see it at our YouTube channel, Facebook, you name it. There are links to purchasing the book. Just follow them. We got it there for you. Now, let's jump into these charts. We see the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. That's what we affectionately call the Qs, or some people call it the cubes, down for the day. 20-year bonds up, gold down. Let's jump into the S&P 500, down just a little bit, 0.40%. Still have a big up week underway, things moving up quite nicely as we close the day on Thursday, go into the last day of the week. Remember, this is a weekly candle, and the derivative oscillator gaining upward momentum, price percent oscillator gaining upward momentum. We just finished drawing the latest 2-day candle, and of course it is an up candle, even with a little bit of down movement for this day, with the movement up over the prior day. Still up, derivative oscillator gaining momentum, price percent oscillator heading up, price movement well above the 2-day and the weekly chart. We go from the 2-day to the 4-hour. What do we see? Again, some cautionary tales, things backing off. Now, they did that before till they took off again. We had a down day back on the 23rd, so keep your eye on things, because if we do crossover going down, then typically a 4-hour chart crossover going down is going to go down for a few days. Don't want to gain what you've earned, but you don't want to pull out too early either. So keep your eye on what things look like in the morning. If you're still in, we haven't had a crossover yet, still well above the 2-day and the weekly. Derivative oscillators losing momentum. That price percent oscillator is headed precipitously down. This red spinning top means indecision, tending down. But it's not a hard down candle like we saw back on the 15th. And then, of course, after that, things popped over. So keep your eye on all the charts all the time. But sure has been good to us so far, hasn't it? The S&P, wonderful. Let's go from the S&P to the NASDAQ 100. Big up candle for the week. Price percent oscillator ticked up. Derivative oscillator heading up. Things look so good so far on the weekly chart. What do we see on the 2-day? Again, 3 big, nice, getting fatter up candles. Derivative oscillators heading up. We had that 2-day vertical crossover going up back on the 2-day candle ending this past Wednesday. So again, things are looking Tuesday. So Wednesday and Thursday is another nice up candle. And then we go from the 2-day to the weekly, and from the weekly to the 2-day to the 4-hour. What do we see there? Are we getting a topping? Might be. Derivative oscillators slowing down. Price percent oscillators losing momentum. And our Heikin-Ashi candlesticks are going flat. So keep your eye on the Qs. Also, what are we waiting for on the Qs? Well, remember, we have the 2-day heading in the same direction as the weekly. We're waiting for a rollback on the 4-hour so we can hop in. So don't have a jumping in point yet on the Qs, but maybe we will if that rollback occurs. Move on to 20-year bonds on the weekly chart. What do we see going on there? Well, red spinning top after 2 weeks of strong up movement previously. That means indecision, tending down. Derivative oscillators gaining some momentum. Price percent oscillator still heading up some, but weekly, and that's WEAKLY. On the weekly, WEEKLY. Let's go from there to the 2-day. 2-day, of course, over the last 4 days, we've blown off that beautiful, just a really gorgeous trend line. It's been broken. Now we've got 4 days of breaks in that. Price percent oscillator is flat. Derivative oscillator losing momentum, red down candle, no wick on top. Typically portends more red down movement. Was up for the day, though, on the up 0.21%. We go to the 4-hour. What do we see? See things look like they sort of bottomed, and now they're heading up. However, derivative oscillator still negative, losing downward momentum. Price percent oscillator still heading down, and into the day with a bit of a pullback. A red open box candle lost some of that up movement in the morning. So just keep your eye on things. That pullback is underway on TLT. And if we have a crossover going up on that 4-hour chart, we might have a jumping in point. Remember, the weekly and the 2-day moving in the same direction. The pullback's underway, possibly. Doesn't have to be. It could just keep going down and pull these other 2 charts over. But right now, maybe not. So keep our eye open, see what we see as time progresses. And gold, what's going on gold? Well, a bit of a pullback, 4.49% negative for the day. And we see the derivative oscillator, however, continuing to lose momentum. Price percent oscillator is flat on this weekly chart. We have a green spinning top, which again, not as strong as the up movement the prior week so far. It just means indecision tending up. Of course, we did have a crossover going up on that 2-day chart. Derivative oscillator gaining momentum, but we can see this latest candle is a bit of a pullback after 4 2-day candles, which is, of course, 8 days. Easy math there. Maybe pulling it back through the weekly chart. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what we see, if anything does make itself available on gold. And of course, the 2-day chart continuing to, 4-hour chart continuing to move down. Both down sessions in the morning and the afternoon. Hasn't crossed over going down yet. So we'll wait for gold to settle out, figure out what's going on. That's where we are as we end the day on Thursday. Going to Friday, don't forget over the weekend, over the holiday, we'll be putting out for you that special short chart trading to everyone who's purchased the book. 5th printing is actually coming in tomorrow morning, so we've got plenty of books to send out to you. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team here at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.